Hey everyone, today we are going to be doing a little dark circle concealing, considering knowing the fact that I have panda circles, and it's been, I've spent years trying to conceal them, being told by makeup artists that I cannot conceal them completely, till I finally reached um, you know um, like I got the right products, and I finally reached the conclusion that an orange color corrector isn't always the right choice for Indian skin tones. As we are told, that's like saying you can only wear just one color because you're Indian, or you're an Indian skin tone. So here's me showing an orange color corrector versus a peach color corrector on this eye, and the results are for you to see and decide, because it's really very it's subjective. It depends on from person to person, what your skin tone's like, what complexion you are, and hence the color corrector has to be matched accordingly, according to your dark circles as well, because some people have brown ones and some people have purple ones. So here we go. I'm starting with moisturizing my face. I'm using the Pixi Rose Ceramide Cream. Always use upward strokes while using a moisturizer, because that just firms up the skin. Pardon my flyaway hair, but it's just the way it is. Yeah, always in upward strokes around your neck, on your neck as well, always upwards. Ensures that the skin stays firm. Then I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 1 primer. It's a peach colored primer, which is great for neutralizing any dark spots or hyperpigmentation that you may have on your skin. It's excellent for people with dark circles or any kind of discoloration, frankly. I always use it in areas where I need it. Primers are meant for that. They're not always, you can use different primers on different parts of the face, but this is something that I'm using to in the center of my face, and whatever is left on my fingertips is what I'm applying on my cheeks. After that, it's the Becca Eye under eye cream, which is a very a moisturizing cream for the under eye areas, considering the under eye area it's one of the driest areas on the human body or the human face. And this moisturizes, and it kind of smoothens the skin as well. Especially it's great for people who've got wrinkles like myself, and people who've got very sensitive under eye area. So always use it in a tapping motion, don't ever rub. Now I'm using color correctors. These are from Cover Effects. They're in colors peach and orange. So as the video states, that I would be showing you the difference between color correcting with a peach color corrector as well as an orange one. So hence I made sure I use the same brand. I'm using a synthetic brush by BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to be using the peach color corrector first. Just load your brush and start applying. Always use patting motions. It's better not to drag, otherwise it can leave streaks, and as the under eye area is super soft and delicate and sensitive, so it's always better to use very short strokes and just pat the product in. Always start lightly so that you can build up the product. It's easier to build up than to take away. It's always better to move a little away from the mirror and see what the product is looking like, whether you need to add more or it's good the way it is. So small stippling motions. It's always nice to cover the outer and the inner portion of the eye. They are sometimes the darkest areas on the human face, so it's just better to cover those areas as well. Now I'll be taking another synthetic brush from Miniso, and I'll be loading it up with the orange color corrector, like so. This is just going to look a little more intense because of the color, and because it's the wrong choice of color for me. Hence it's going to look really orange, and I'm applying a very thin layer here. It's not something that's too heavy or too much. So just a very thin layer, and I'm going to then pat it with a veggie. It's like a wet sponge, you know, these are latex free. I get these from Miniso as well. And just pat in the product. It kind of takes away the excess as well, but you know, my mistake was that I used it on my peach color correcting side as well. It took away a little bit of the corrector, so I had to go in and apply a little more, which is what I'm doing now. I did not add more product, I just took what was on my brush and checked to see if it was appropriate. I just decided to add a little more to the circle area, you know, that dip where the skin dips, where the circle starts. Just a little more on that little crease line. With that done, I will take my MAC Fix and Prime, I think that's what it's called. It's just a translucent powder from MAC. I'm using the tiniest amount just to set this in place, so that, you know, when I use my concealer on top, it does not mix with the color corrector. So this makes sure that the color corrector stays in place. So once that's tapped in, I'm just going to be going in with my concealer, which is the Benefit Cakeless Boing Concealer in shade number 6. Many people would be surprised that, you know, this shade would be a little too dark, but it's the perfect shade for me. And I prefer a slightly darker concealer than the foundation color I use, for the simple reason that, you know, anything that's too light is going to make my dark circles look really grey. Always put a dot on the outer corner of the eyes as well, so that kind of covers the entire area. It's better to dot your concealer and use a lesser amount than just cake it on. You can always go in with more. This is the HD brush from Sigma. I love this for blending out my concealer. It just gets into all the nooks and crannies, frankly. So as you can see, even though it's a huge brush, it does a fantastic job of blending everything. I'm using a short tapping motion, or more like a stippling motion, for the simple reason that I don't want to sweep, cause streaks and pull on my under eye area. Also, I don't want to move the color corrector that I've already put in place, you know. Frankly, why let your hard work go to waste? That's just another way of putting things, actually. So it's just better to just tap it in place. I'm sorry about the funny faces, you know, that's the only way I can stretch the skin under the eyes, or actually what we can do to stretch our skins under the eyes. Just a little bit around the mouth as well. Whatever's left on my brush was getting a little sweaty, and as you can see, it's done a wonderful job of blending. And you can see the difference between an orange color corrector as well as a peach one. The peach eye looks brighter. Just a little tap of the wet sponge and we're good to go. So that's the final look. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.